The first hour is not when most people start thinking clearly, it is when most people freeze or panic. Or do the thing that feels productive but is actually the most dangerous thing they could do, which is go outside to see what is happening. Every civilian account from every modern urban conflict describes the same first hour: noise, confusion, the instinct to call someone, the instinct to look, the instinct to move before you know where you are moving to. These are human responses to shock, and they are understandable. They are also the responses that get people killed in the first 60 minutes. What separates the people who navigated that first hour successfully from the ones who did not is not courage. It is sequence, knowing what to do first, second, and third before the moment arrives so that when it does, your body executes a plan instead of improvising under terror. Here are the 7 things. In order, for the first hour. Subscribe now so you never miss a video on this channel, and stay for number 7. It is the action that takes under 2 minutes, costs nothing, and is the single most important thing you can do in that first hour that almost nobody does. 1. Get away from windows and exterior walls immediately, before you assess, before you call anyone, before you do anything else. Move to an interior space. The instinct in a shocking situation is to look toward the source of the sound or the light. Windows are where that instinct takes you. Windows are also where the vast majority of non-direct strike civilian casualties in urban conflict come from, not from direct hits. From glass fragmentation and pressure wave injuries caused by detonations that occurred hundreds of meters away. In Kyiv, in the first hours of the February 2022 strikes, emergency guidance from Ukrainian civil defense was explicit and immediate. Away from windows, interior rooms, low to the floor. This is not complicated doctrine, it is physics. Glass accelerated by a pressure wave carries enough energy to cause fatal injuries at significant distances. The wall between you and the exterior of your building is your first layer of protection. Get behind it and stay behind it until you have assessed what is actually happening. 2. Fill every available container with water right now. Municipal water infrastructure does not wait for the situation to stabilize before failing. Pumping stations lose power, pressure drops. Treatment facilities shut down or get damaged. In documented urban conflicts, running water became unreliable or stopped entirely within the first 24 to 48 hours in multiple cities, sometimes faster. You do not know in the first hour how long this will last. You do not know whether this is a single incident or the beginning of a sustained situation. What you do know is that filling containers costs you nothing and takes 5 minutes, and if the water stops tomorrow, you will be glad you did it tonight. Every bathtub, every large pot, every container that holds liquid, run them all simultaneously. A standard bathtub is roughly 150 liters. That is weeks of drinking water under disciplined rationing. The 5 minutes you spend on this in the first hour is one of the highest return actions available to you. Do it before you make a single phone call. 3. Account for every member of your household and stay together. The second most common source of first-hour civilian casualties in urban conflict after window exposure is separation. Family members in different rooms making independent decisions about where to go. Someone stepping outside to check on a neighbor before the situation is assessed. Someone leaving to find a family member at another location without coordination. Get everyone in your household into the same interior room immediately. Do a verbal head count. Make a single collective decision about where you are and what you are doing next. Nobody moves independently until you have a shared picture of the situation and a shared plan. If a member of your household is not home when things escalate, establish contact by text before voice calls. In network-congested emergencies, text messages route through queued pathways that bypass the voice call overload. Send a single clear message, your location, that you are safe, where you are going. Then resist the impulse to leave your position to find them until you have a plan that accounts for your own safety first. 4. Turn on a battery radio and gather information before you act. In the first hour, the information environment is almost entirely noise. Social media fills instantly with unverified reports, recycled footage from other events, deliberate misinformation, and genuine accounts that are impossible to distinguish from false ones without context. The person on your street shouting about what they saw knows one data point. The neighbor who heard something on the phone knows secondhand information filtered through someone else's panic. Official civil defense and emergency broadcast radio is imperfect. But it is the closest thing to verified, actionable guidance available in the first hour. Turn it on, listen before you decide. In Ukraine, Poland, and multiple NATO-adjacent countries, civil defense radio protocols are specifically designed to deliver shelter, evacuation, and safety instructions in the first phase of an emergency. Your equivalent broadcast authority is doing the same. Do not make major movement decisions. Specifically, do not decide to evacuate based on social media in the first hour. Wait for a clearer picture. The decision to move through an active threat environment is irreversible in ways that the decision to stay is not. Give yourself 10 to 15 minutes of radio information before you commit to movement. 5. Grab your go bag and your documents without searching for either. The first hour is not when you assemble your go bag, it is when you pick it up. If you have to search for your documents, your cash, your medications, and your power bank, while something is happening outside, you have already lost significant time and introduced significant stress into a moment that has enough of both. Your bag should be packed, positioned, and grab ready before any emergency, next to your bed, near your interior door, somewhere that requires zero decision-making to access. In the first hour you pick it up, you do not build it. If your bag is not ready, use the first hour to do the fastest version of assembly you can manage. Documents first, cash second, medications third, water and food if you have time, phone charger and power bank. Everything else is optional weight. Move fast and do not let the perfect be the enemy of the functional. A partial go bag assembled in 4 minutes is worth more than a complete one you spent 20 minutes building while the situation evolved around you. 6. Make one outbound communication to your designated out-of-area contact. One message, one person outside your immediate region, your location, that you are safe, and what your plan is. This single communication does 3 things simultaneously. It establishes that you are accounted for in the minds of the people who will be trying to reach you. It creates a coordination point for family members who may not be able to reach each other directly. And it offloads the psychological weight of isolation, which is a real and documented factor in first-hour decision-making quality. Then put your phone on airplane mode or low power mode. Battery is a resource with a hard limit. In a grid-down situation, your phone does not get recharged on a predictable timeline. Every call, every social media refresh, every background app running is drawing down a resource you cannot replace. Use your power bank if you have one. Treat your battery like the finite asset it is from the first hour forward. 7. Make the decision about whether you are staying or leaving and commit to it. This is the action that takes under 2 minutes and is the most important thing you will do in the first hour. Not because movement is always right, not because sheltering is always right, but because the failure to decide is the most dangerous state you can be in. Indecision in a conflict environment means you are neither hardened in place nor moving with intention. You are exposed in both directions. You have not committed resources to shelter, and you have not committed to a route. You are in the worst possible position, reactive, without momentum, waiting for the situation to make the decision for you. Look at what you know, listen to what the radio is telling you, assess your route options and whether they are viable right now, and then decide. Stay and harden your position with everything you have, or move now on your pre-planned route before the window closes further. A committed decision executed imperfectly is survivable. Paralysis is not. 60 minutes, 7 actions. None of them require gear you do not own. None of them require training you have not had. They require sequence. The knowledge of what comes first so that when your brain wants to freeze, your body already knows the order. Write these 7 down tonight. Put them somewhere physical, inside a cabinet door, in your go bag, on your phone as a locked note, because the version of you that needs this list will not be in a state to remember it from a video they watched once. Drop a comment below. Tell me which of these 7 you had not thought through before tonight. The honest answers in the comments are what make this channel useful to the next person who finds it. Subscribe if this is the kind of content your feed needs more of. And the next video covers what happens after the first hour, the decisions that matter in hours 2 through 72, when the initial shock has passed and the real survival calculus begins. That one is coming soon. Do not miss it!